Renting will be cheaper than buying for a long time. Lack of inventory, high prices, and falling pressure on rent growth makes owning more expensive. And this is a trend that we have seen over the past couple of years post-COVID. Right now, we are at a place where the disparity between owning and renting is higher than it's been in 40 years. Over 50% more costly to buy a property than to own that similar, or than to rent that similar property. And it doesn't look like that's going away anytime soon, according to this article and analysis by CBRE. And they say that even though the premium to buy a home may have come down over the next several years based on the home price, interest rate and rent growth forecast is expected to remain high enough to keep today's renters renting for longer. So even though there should be a little bit of pressure coming off of owning a home as interest rates come down, it's going to last a while before it makes sense to buy a home, before it costs the same. And I remember growing up, it always costed about the same to rent versus owning. Then you have some tax advantages to owning, so you'd kind of be pushed that way. Now, it's not even close.
Well, and then a lot of people that own homes now are locked in at such great interest rates. They're not going out to market, so just the supply is so much smaller than it usually is.
And to your point, people who are locked in with these low rates, if they're going to sell at a premium. So if rates come down, I don't see the price of homes coming down at all. If anything, they're going to skyrocket even more. So the folks that want to buy a home, stay tuned.
Yeah, there is a frozen supply that's going to be frozen for a long time because of these low interest rates. Just think about all of the people you know who own homes that have interest rates in sub 4. They're thinking about things different now because they have that sub 4. I was talking to a friend over the weekend. He had a home sub 4 by himself. He got married, wanted a bigger house, but he had a loan sub 4. So normally he'd just sell that. But he's like, I have a 3% interest rate on it, so of course I'm keeping it. I'm renting it out.
Can't walk away.
Yeah.
Can't walk away. So you think about it completely different. It turns into more rentals, more people holding onto those homes longer, less inventory. It isn't necessarily a good thing. We're not saying that. We're just saying it is what it is. We can't, let the trend be your friend, or instead of fighting it. Understand it, what it is, and that's why, as owners of multifamily and developers of multifamily, we see this rise of the forever renter and how that's going to continue to be a trend. And that's why I have confidence as a multifamily investor that this is a great place to invest, because that trend is going to just continue for some time in the future.
Yeah, and as a millennial, Gen Z, even younger generations, why wouldn't you rent right now?
Yeah.
It's all the amenities in the world. You can go live in a nice area and pay less than what you would pay on a mortgage for a home that's not as nice as the place you'd be renting. So it's for me, it's a no-brainer.
And I, as a homeowner, last summer, I had a 2-year-old AC go out, $10,000 later. Now, thankfully, we have a little bit better connections at Neighborhood Ventures, but I priced it out with a regular place, $10,000. You don't have to deal with that when you're renting.
No.
You just call someone else to deal with that when you're done.
So it makes a lot of sense, and you have the flexibility, and you see these new apartments that are coming on, including our apartments when we renovate them. Typically, now you have in-suite washer and dryers. You have new, nice furnishings. You have nice dog parks.
Yeah.
I don't have that at my house. I have to pick up my own dog poop. I have to mow my own lawn. You don't have to worry about that.
Still got to pick up the dog poop at the dog park.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
I think one of the things with that too is a lot of people that would be in the market to buy right now, they have this money tucked away to go, put a down payment on. It's extraordinarily expensive to go buy a house. So they're finding ways of deploying those funds temporarily into investments, into the stock, into multifamily in order to deploy it, so it's not just sitting in a bank, waiting a couple of years and then coming back to the market and seeing where it's at. So
yeah, companies like ours have benefited from that.
For sure.
Because younger folks have more cash sitting on the sidelines. They want to do something with it. They can get exposure to real estate by investing in our REIT or in some of our projects. and things change, and so that's where we're at today.